Thanks for 200 subscribers. So now I have a reason to do a celebration video about it. So here it is. So apparently a lot of people have heard about the news, and I'm pretty sure you have heard about it as well. But in case if you haven't, if you have been living under a rock for a couple of months recently, so there seemed to be a new Doom game announced called Doom the Dark Ages, and from what I can tell, it's supposed to be a half sequel, half prequel to Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, respectively. So, looking from these screenshots and the trailers, and it looks pretty much amazing. Just Doom, okay? It's of course it's gonna be amazing and awesome. I mean, there hasn't been a bad Doom game ever since, and hopefully there never will be. So we can only expect how good it's gonna be when it comes out next year in 2025. I'm actually more excited for Doom the Dark Ages than GTA 6 coming out. But yeah, I mean, today's video is not about Doom the Dark Ages blabbering when it's gonna come out, what leaks are there, what yada yada yada. Today I'm gonna benchmark Doom Eternal, which is the oldest, which is gonna be, which came out 4 years ago. Time really does move on, but still, 4 years ago is not a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, today we're gonna benchmark Doom Eternal on a potato PC that's pretty much not capable of running the game properly at all. And in case if you're wondering what specs I'm gonna be testing Doom Eternal on, I'm gonna be testing it on a computer with a Core i3 9th generation without integrated graphics, hence GF in the name. 16 gigabytes of RAM. I actually upgraded from the last two benchmarks, and GT730 by Nvidia, which is the 2 gig DDR3 model, which is pretty much slow and it's not meant for gaming, although I and many others who had this graphics card have tried to game on it, and that's just video now. Expectations have to be set. But still, this, because a new Doom game is coming out, and might as well celebrate it by doing a video on benchmarking the previous Doom game, Doom Eternal, which the new Doom game might not even start on this particular PC. So yeah. So yeah, those are the specs. Here it is, and it's not looking promising at 1050p because of the monitor is 1610. 30 pixels doesn't make too much difference, but still. Right now I just changed the character to the arch file, but still. Um, let's see, we're running this game at the lowest settings as they can go, and I have enabled some console tweaks, which you can write them on screen for a bit more FPS for potato PC, because we're needing every single bit of frame rate we can take, and somehow I managed to enable the dynamic resolution scale to 50% because the game defaults to 70%, which is not enough. The game can go lower. How did I do it? Well, I had to go to 640 by 480 and somehow tweak the dynamic scale, switch to static from dynamic, and it managed to go down. And I had to use the NVIDIA capping tool just so I can manage to lock the game to 30 FPS. And it did help manage to reach the resolution scale. But so yeah, as you can see, we're like right now, as I said, the graphics card is actually 2 gigabytes, and this game requires 4 gigabytes of VRAM in the minimum requirements. And you can see the card is actually heavily VRAM limited. So I'm not sure how well the performance is gonna go. So yeah, as you can see, this card heavily VRAM limited, and I did enable the in-game FPS counter because I'm too lazy to install MSI Afterburner or Fraps. Although I did use the Near Automata benchmark Yeah, so as you can see, we're getting 20, 24, 23 FPS, which is not a whole lot in the menu. Doesn't give me much hope for the game. I did, however, play a bit of it in the beginning, just so I can get a feel for it on how it runs. Because let's be real, no one's playing this game for the multiplayer. Everyone's playing it for the amazing campaign, which is pretty good. Although I haven't played much because of this, because I wanted to make this video on. And as you can see, this game is running about 20 FPS. Yeah, I'm supposed to punch him right now. There we go. He's down. And right now it's going to 14. Keep in mind, this is with the 4 commands for performance. So it's not giving me much hopes for have this game being a bit playable. Although I seen a Reddit post on somebody actually beating this game with a GT 730, and so far he managed to do the entire game like this with everything lowered down to 720p, or maybe I believe he went 4:3 in the aspect ratio, and got with about 15 to 10 FPS, and he beat the game with the Ancient Gods expansions. It's pretty much some sort of dedication, but yeah, it's pretty slow. It's down to 10 FPS. It's not very playable, but it's pretty slow. I'm gonna skip 900p because let's be real now. No one's going to, if no one's, I mean, I know some people are gonna play on 900p, so I'm just switching from 1610 to 16:9, even though I'm gonna have black borders on the screen. So yeah, I'm gonna switch from 900p, but there's pretty much not gonna be much of a difference. So yeah, here we are, 900p. Yep, pretty much the same thing. This is one of the best Doom games, by the way, in my honest opinion, alongside the classics, Doom 2016 and Doom 3. Yes, I said Doom 3. Right now, as you can see, 900p is pretty much the same, even though I didn't plan to test it. So I'm gonna lower the resolution down to 720. And as you can see, the pause menu jumps up, and it's kind of feeling a bit better. I know that is a secret, but I'm too lazy to get it, so yeah. As you can see, this game now running a bit better at 720. Sometimes it jumps to like 30, 35, but as soon as you look at somewhere that's a bit more busier, the frame rate actually tanks back to 10 to 15. But is it playable? It depends. It depends really if you have extremely low expectations, but Doom Eternal is actually a much faster paced game than Doom 2016, which this computer actually runs it at 720p, but with 50% resolution scale, or native at 1024 by 768. But the game, however, that game actually runs, but it's much older. This one is a bit newer, and is a lot more demanding. So yeah, excuse me for the poor bad gameplay right now. I just haven't played it. I haven't played this game in a while, and from what I played, it's just pretty much me just me testing this game out to see if it does run for a bit before I make a video. There it goes. There's the Arachnotron. So yeah, 720p does run, but it will dip occasionally. Let's go to 4:3 right now, to 1024 by 768. And not a lot of people are gonna use it. Although I have to enable borders on my monitor because The reason is if I play any games on 4x3 stretch, the image is gonna look really bad. So I wanted to make the games that I play on 4x3 to look extremely good, even if it's a newer game or an old game. And as you can see, the card VRAM limit is still not budging at all. There's still VRAM limited in this game. And as you can see, the frame rate did improve by a significant amount. However, as you can see shortly, the frame rate will dip on occasion. Actually, as you can see, the game sometimes does reach over 40 at this resolution, but the more you look in busier areas, the frame rates will drop. So what I'm gonna do now is lower the resolution down to 800 by 600. See, and now we get the competitive frame rates over here on the top. But once we go in game, it's pretty much the same, just a bit smoother in emptier areas. And now we got the wall climb. Almost missed it. Yeah. And now we're going to a checkpoint. Got it. And as you can see, it still drops, but I guess it's probably due to the VRAM limitations this card actually has, and not the game. The game's fantastic. It's one of, as I said, one of the best Doom games. You should definitely play it if you haven't. However, I do recommend playing it on a much better computer than this. So yeah, as you can see, emptier areas have much better frame rates. Although it's playable, I'm having fun right now. Even though I'm not really that good at this game, and I'm playing like shit at the moment. So yeah, 800 by 600 is actually a bit playable than 1024 by 768 and 720p. Although you might have to make a custom resolution that supports your monitor's native aspect ratio, because of one reason and one reason alone. Just just to have the game fit in the correct aspect ratio. So I'm just gonna lower the game down to 600 by 640 by 480, just to see how much performance. I don't recommend this resolution as the last result, and guess what? The VRAM limit doesn't budge even at the lowest resolution. There's a 3 by 2 resolution, which is the other 640 by 720 by 480, which is the other 480, but this one's much lower, and the other one just makes the game look like have a black box around it, like it's both leather boxed and pillar boxed at the same time. So as you can see, this resolution is the best when there's not a lot of things going around, but it's not the greatest. Not Also, one more thing I want to mention with this resolution: while it does perform better in indoor and emptier areas, especially if there's not a whole lot of action going around, but as soon as you go into some outdoor areas where there's a lot busier, and as you can see, there's some sort of action going, a lot of action that's going around, the frame rate will actually tank. As you can see, the frame rate will actually tank, and it will tank a lot. I mean, So yeah, one thing I want to mention is that this game at this resolution it somehow seems to be still a lot more playable than Nier Automata ever actually was on this computer. I mean, even at 640 by 480, that game still wasn't even playable. Although I had to make some tweaks. Is this game playable on a potato PC? Well, yes. Depends on your hardware and depends on your expectations. I would say it's playable, but depends on your expectations. If you mind having the game go in slow motion, then yes, it is playable. But still, it's Doom Eternal, one of the best Doom games and one of the best games. So, from one of the best franchises. So, I would say it's playable, but you definitely should play it. Depends on what you have. So, yeah, that's about it. Let me show you how the game runs. Alright, here it is. We can I can tell you that this game runs. I capped it to 1660 FPS without reasing because I capped it to 60 because of the monitor's refresh rate, and I can tell you these are just some fancy effects that I'm using and some minor of quality of life improvements, but it's not really a big deal. We're actually utilizing the high settings maxed out. So let's me just start the game, and as you can see, it's running pretty much smoothly from what I can see. I mean, no hitches, no lags, nothing. It's running pretty much well. Why am I using the regular shotgun? I should be using the super shotgun instead. Game because it's running smoothly as you can see. I'm not sure how smooth you can see it's running because the phone captures in 30 FPS. Yeah, I'm using an old phone. That's all I have right now. But yeah,